So if you missed it yesterday, a huge talking point, if you will, unhappiness coming from Brandon Tritter, who is the coach of Swallows Football Club, Morocco Swallows Football Club, playing against Sekhukhune. Sorry, who's the coach rather? What am I saying? Who's the coach rather of Sekhukhune? Playing against Morocco Swallows Football Club, which is coached now by Steve Kompela. Very unhappy with what happened in that second goal that they conceded. Goalkeeper goes up, catches the ball. Striker comes, pushes him literally into the goals, walks him into the goals. Goalkeeper walks backwards with the ball into the goals and is then judged to be a goal. Many of us sat there and thought, no man, can't be true. This can't be it. But from a refereeing point of view, what do we say about such decisions? But that's not it. You remember on Monday, we had the principal here and we went through lots of different decisions and there was a lot that he was unhappy about as well. So what about that goal? What about that last goal? How bad is that? For a coach to be losing to a goal like that, you know, Sangare is recorded as having that as an own goal, really, isn't it? It's going to come across as an own goal because what else do you label that? You can't give it to Mhango because Mhango didn't even touch the ball. So then that's going to go down as an own goal. Is that even fair? So we reached out to Abdul Ibrahim, who's the South African Football Association head of referees, former referee himself, which means, of course, he's in charge of the referees in the DSTV Premiership. We were going to have a conversation with him, but today's the Thursday, and we can't let go of Throwback Thursday. And, of course, he says they're under review at the moment, including the decision yesterday. He can't speak about it because he needs to go take a look at it, review it, have the review committee sit and look at it first. But this is what he said to us.
Good afternoon. Hi, Timmy and Andile. My sincere apologies that I could not chat with you earlier. As I have mentioned before, it is very important that with any incident that happens in a game, we allow the review committee to review the decision or to review the match itself and then obviously make the necessary recommendations. For me to comment on any incident prior to the review committee having made their recommendations would not be correct. So I would rather that we chat maybe on Monday week, if that's okay with you, and then I will gladly chat to you and we can discuss whatever it is that you'd like to discuss around refereeing. Thank you very much for your understanding.
So we've got a date on Monday when the principal is here, when Mazola is here, the super journal, and the three wise men sit here. On Monday, we've got a date with the South African Football Association's head of referees because there's a lot of decisions that we need to review. There's a lot of decisions that we need to talk to him about. So set it up, write it down, send us all of those decisions that you'd like to look at. I know there's a lot in that Sundowns Chiefs game, in that which other game was it again? The Sundowns Swallows match as well. There was something there. The Cape Town City Kaizer Chiefs game, there was something there as far as that goal is concerned and that goal line technology a bit there. So all of that, we'll take it up with him. He'll give us his time and we'll go at it. We were told that they were busy in a workshop, the referees. You know, they're busy with the workshop. So what did that workshop do? Have they achieved what they thought they did? And are they happy with 4 games played? Are they happy with what we're getting? That is going to be our conversation on Monday. Welcome to it. It's 17 after the hour 6. Now we need to change gears into what happens on a Thursday here. Great conversations, great chats, amazing stories. That's what Thursdays are about. It's your favorite show of the week. Throwback Thursday is what we call it on Sports Not Amplified with Andile on the Mighty Metro FM. Last week, what an amazing story. And it was only a drop in the ocean of the complicated story and yet so tantalizing. Teko, the General Mutise. We went back to the moment he left Orlando Pirates and joined Mamelodi Sundowns, and the big press conference was held. He didn't get a time to say anything. He didn't get a chance to speak on that day. It trended in South Africa for 2 days because for the very first time, Teko got to give the speech he would have given on the day, address the players that he played with. What a conversation. If you have ever missed something that you think, I know I can do without, trust me, that's not it. Go back, take a look at the conversation. Go find it in our podcast. Go to YouTube and find it and have a listen. It was a great conversation. And then on Monday, somebody called and said, hey, Andile, man, there's some great players playing at the moment, and I wonder about the jersey number 10 of the Orlando Pirates. It's deserved. Somebody must get it. I think they said Mofokeng. And we're like, we're not sure about it being Mofokeng, but, you know, what is it about the jerseys? And somebody said, hey, at Kaizer Chiefs as well, there are jerseys that are retired there. Well, one jersey is what was mentioned. So then we said, hey, let's dig deep and dive in to the retirement of jerseys. It's not a trend that you see around the world. It's not a trend you see around the world. Maybe in America we've seen it, in basketball in particular. But in South Africa, we've seen it, but only at two particular clubs. Around the world, I don't remember it being that Ronaldo was so great at Manchester United, David Beckham perhaps was so great, George Best and the likes, that they retired the number 7 jersey, which is, historically a big number. I know there's a lot of people calling for Barcelona now that Ansu Fati is going to be leaving to say, hey, maybe it's time you honor Messi by retiring that jersey. But it's not a trend that happens. We see it here, though. So let's get into that. I've got somebody who's a former player, but is more like a historian. How many jerseys do you know of at Kaizer Chiefs that are retired? I know 2. Turns out it's a lot more than 2. At 6:21 on the Mighty Metro FM, welcome to a jersey numbers. What do they mean to you? I mean, we know the jersey number 10 is historically one of the most famous and most wanted jersey anywhere in football when you reach a team. Then later on, the jersey number 9, the jersey number 7, those became important and big jerseys. Number 7, Boyd by Man United, where that jersey worn by George Best and the likes has been historical for that. But if you move over to other teams, there's certain jerseys that are just special to them. In South Africa, it began at Kaizer Chiefs, but the jersey number 15 is one of those historic things that most know. It doesn't matter what team you're in. Even if you're playing for, an Amazulu, if you're wearing 15, we understand what that is. You might think that that's the only jersey you haven't seen at Kaizer Chiefs in a while, but it's not like that. There's actually more. Please help me welcome onto the show Dr. Howard Freese, former Kaizer Chiefs defender who joins us live from Durban. Dr. Freese, thank you so much for joining us and welcome.
Hi, good evening, Andile, and thank you. Thank you for inviting me, and good evening to the listeners.
Oh, man, it's always great to have you, and I can't wait to get into this conversation. But it's not just you. We've also got the man who decided, listen, man, it's not going to be just that jersey that the South Africans go crazy about. He's also going to be an amazing human who's just begun, and he'll tell us a little bit more about it now, who's begun with his special netball and football tournaments that he's taking around the country. Dr. Khumalo, jersey number 15, also joins us in a bit. We just, is he on? Oh, Doc?
Hello?
Uphiz, wambi country on kudlala ma netball.
No, man.
Doc, I've got Howard Freese on the line as well.
Oh, is it? Hey, how are you?
Hey, Doc, are you okay?
I'm fine, thanks, man. You know what?
It's nice to hear your voice again.
Thanks. Yeah, no, great, my brother.
Doctor, I mean, this is a conversation that came from people, Howard, who said, hey, man, this is a phenomenon that's only in South Africa and would like to know a little bit more about it. At the time when we started talking about it, Doctor was obviously alongside Jomasona, who excused himself today, couldn't make it onto the air, unfortunately, because of his schedule. That's what we're looking at, because that's what we knew. But in digging further and speaking to you in particular, before I go to Doctor, just a little bit historical version, because I know you, being the historian that you are and the world red man that you are, it's not just those 2 jerseys that have been put aside, that have been retired by teams in South Africa.
No, I think, as far as I know, it's just those 2 jerseys. Unless you guys have dug in deeper to see.
I mean, obviously, there's posthumously retired jerseys as well.
Oh, yeah, in South Africa, yes, there has been. If we looked at Orlando Pirates, with the late Liza Manyatela, that jersey was retired. And then I think just lately, the young fellow that passed on at Stellies, I think his jersey has been retired.
And what do you think of this phenomenon? I mean, it's not something we see around the world. It's not something that's popular, that is caught on, the retirement of jerseys.
No, certainly it's not, Andile. When somebody retires his jersey, Andile, it's an honor that they bestow on you. Because it's not a formula that they work out to say, listen here, you did these 1, 2, or 3 things, or this is what you've done. But the team honors you for what you've done for the team, or your contribution over the years when you're involved with the team. That is how they get to honor you and say, okay, look, for all those great things that you've done for us, we honor you by retiring your number. It just doesn't happen. But it's something that is very serious that the team takes into consideration, your contributions, your stature, your behavior on the ground and off the ground, and in your career as a whole. So it's not something that a team takes very lightly, because if it was taken so lightly, there will be no numbers left because every 2 days they'll be retiring a number. So it has to be something that you got to earn it. You know, you don't just get it. You don't deserve it, but you earn it.
What jersey number did you wear, Howard?
I wore number 20.
Is number 20 available at Chiefs?
No.
Why?
Because I've been honored with that number.
So that jersey's been retired at Chiefs?
Yes, the jersey was retired. I think it was last year, September sometime. So you wouldn't be seeing that jersey anytime soon. So that is an honor for all the things that my contribution towards the success of the team during the 80s and 90s. That was my contribution. And because the team said, look, because of things that I had done, or my contribution towards the team, they're going to honor me by retiring the number 20 jersey.
I'm going to come back to you. I want to go to Dr. Khumalo very quickly. Doctor,
Sure.
We've known for a very long time that jersey number 15 is a special jersey at Kaizer Chiefs, and we haven't seen it at Kaizer Chiefs. But was there a formal conversation, Doc, to say this jersey cannot be worn like a doctor, we're retiring it? Or is it just sonke siyazi ukuthi liyasinda, so therefore liyekele?
Good evening, Andy and the listeners, and Howie. Look, there wasn't a proper or formal information that came from the chairman, Dr. Mtao. The least that I know, I was chilling with Bobby and Pat Kumafani then, and we were told that, jersey number 15 has been retired. Nobody can wear it. So, according to the people around the village, the chairman said he wants to see a player that can contribute or play like me, then he will release the jersey. But at the moment, the jersey is retired. So I would like to believe it's because there's so much history that is involved. Because you must remember, I only played for Kaizer Chiefs in senior, and I got promoted to the senior team. I haven't played for any team in the country. Yeah, so I think that's the chairman's view in terms of the loyalty I gave to the club, like what.
And you continue to do.
Yes, I continue to do that even after I've retired. And then, I'm still there with them.
I mean, guys, you guys don't know this. I sit with Doctor in studio. He literally cries when Kaizer Chiefs are being beaten. He's not a nice person. He doesn't share his food. He likes his food, and he's like, hey, Dory, can I have a drumstick? You're not getting that drumstick if Chiefs are getting beaten. But Doggy, but Doggy, if that's the conversation, and I'm gonna go back to Howie on this one a little bit here.
Sure.
There's players that have come up at Chiefs, and people have said, hey, lo muntu nzima. I mean, number 10 at Chiefs, we've seen it being given. We've seen, Siyabonga Nkosi, Yende. We've seen players that have worn the number 10 jersey. Number 15 has always been a bit of a conversation. Would it be that perhaps they'd need to come to Dr. Khumalo to say, hey, doctor, what do you think of this? Do you think this person is worthy of a jersey? And if that was the conversation and consideration, do you think there'll ever be a player that you think is good enough that you'd be like, you know what, would there ever be a consideration from your end to allow 15 to play? Remember we saw Jomo, Maganiku Steve Likweleya type thing. Do you think we'd ever be able to see that with 15 at Chiefs?
Andy, that's a tricky question. I would like to believe that the chairman has made a decision, and personally, I wouldn't have a problem at all, if there's any other player that probably plays better or above me, or what I contributed to Kaizer Chiefs. The problem is that Agagazar. I even joke with my son, and he's telling me that he's going to surpass me, he's going to be the best. And I'm like looking at him, I'm like, Diego, you understand, or do you know what you're talking about? He says, no, you know what? I don't think I'll be good for South African soccer. I'll be in Spain, so you can keep your 15. The number 20 as well being retired. I mean, that's a huge honor. Something
That's not something we see. Like I said, it is the greatest honor that you can give somebody that never saw Howie. They never saw Howie play. And they hear that, oh, Howard Freese, here's a player. This is the reason why this season you're not seeing this jersey number 20. You're not going to see it at Kaizer Chiefs. They think to themselves, like what Doctor just said now, and what we all know about how great of a player he is, they think to themselves, this must be the greatest defender of all time.
Mm. Yeah, not necessarily Andile. There was much more things that I was good at. Joe, if you took Doc, for instance, I think Doc was one of the best midfielders the country has ever seen. But I had other attributes to which I contributed to the team. For instance, my punctuality into the team for 8 years, I was never late for training. The number of games I won with the team. For instance, right now, Andy, I have over 28 trophies there at Kaizer Chiefs. Secondly, I have over 51 games, which is the most games that was ever played in the team in one season. So, for somebody, as Doc had said earlier on, if somebody wanted to wear that jersey, I would say, look, here's a target for you. 28 jerseys, 51 games in one season. So that anyone who wants to aspire to wearing those jerseys must really have worked their socks off like the way we did when we were playing. You know, Andy, when we were playing at the time, we weren't chasing for fame, but we were chasing for the success of the team. We want to make sure that when we leave there, there's a mark that we're leaving behind. There's a benchmark that whoever came behind us, they must reach that benchmark. And hence what Doctor's saying is true. The person that mustn't wear number 15 is not yet born because they are not meeting the kind of benchmark that the team of the 1980s had set for everybody. So should a time come when they meet it, for my side, and there's 28 trophies and 51 games in a season, that would be my bargaining point.
Doc, do you remember the history of your jersey? Where did you get it from? Do you remember who wore it before you?
The 15.
Yeah.
Andile, now you're gonna make him. He's gonna call me back. Now he's gonna call me. I know him. You know, the jersey was worn by the legendary Jan Malombo Lechaba.
No. Yes, you're right.
Yes, Jan Malombo Lechaba used to wear jersey number 15. My first game, Howard will tell you, when we played Pirates in the Iwisa Spectacular, I was wearing jersey 16. It's only when we started the league, then they gave me jersey number 15. But till today, I'm still struggling to convince Prajan that this jersey number 15, I made it famous.
So he thinks...
he doesn't want to accept that. And now I know if he is listening, he call me. You understand? You know, with that voice. And then I'll be like, no, Prajan, no. 15, I made it popular. When I not defender, I was dribbling fast. Not defender with 5'8". Now I was given, but dribbling. So, but having said that, what a great honor to be given a 15 that was won by a player that was like working very hard in the middle of the park. You know, I felt so honored to be given 15 because Malombo was one of the prolific midfielders. Very, very.
But Doc, and with all due respect to 15, because you went and took 15, and you know with Malombo as well, but you went and made it something, and I just wonder when you became the one of the most important players at Kaizer Chiefs at the time. You know, when you became the playmaker at Kaizer Chiefs, so to speak, at the height of Kaizer Chiefs, did you not think, "Esh, ngifuni 10 nam"?
No. I never actually thought about the jersey numbers and all that because, for starters, I was not even dreaming of jersey number 12. You know,
because that's the jersey. That was the other jersey at Chiefs.
That's number 12. It had trouble, brother. So any number for me, it was okay. But I have to with you. Just for me to wear that jersey, it was a bonus for me. The number had nothing to do with that. And for me to be in that gold and black shirt, It meant a lot because the first thing when I signed, the chairman said to me, like we give our supporters its mine. And then I said, wow. I said, give them the trophy, give them the league and all that. Hence, that's why Howard is talking about 28 trophies. Mina, I did 21 trophies because Howard started earlier than me. So now you can understand why, and there's no player up to today that has done that who has surpassed me or Howard. So the reason why probably the chairman also said and picked them and he gave it a forward so that these two guys, they did a lot for the team.
Howard, I mean, you go a little bit further back with the jersey number 20 because I think even at Cosmos you were 20.
Yes.
What is the affinity with the 20?
When I joined Cosmos, I was principally wearing a number 10 jersey at the old Dynamos, Forsberg Dynamos. So when I go to Cosmos, the jersey number 10 is already taken by Jomo. So really,
of course,
no. I had no chance in hell of winning negotiation with somebody that was so great at the time.
You can correct me here. There's never been anybody else but Jomo who's worn number 10 at Jomo Cosmos.
Yes, no.
Not even his sons.
Not even his son. I tried. So I said to him, I said, Joe, listen here. You got number 10. I like number 10. Can you make a jersey for me 10 plus 10? So I said, no, man. Just take 20. Why don't you make things difficult? I said, no, because I like 10, and you like 10. So on my bag, put a 10 plus 10. It will give us a 20. So I said, no, man, look, fine. 20 is the number jersey that we'll give you. And that jersey stuck with me all the years at Cosmos, and I brought it over to Kaizer Chiefs. And I was very lucky at Chiefs at the time that there wasn't a number 20 jersey there. So the transition was very easy for me to bring the number 20 over without having to fight with anybody. And also, it's the legendary status that the jersey started to build over the years that I was at Chiefs. And as we say, Doc and I are saying that the number of wins, the team that we played in, it grew the notoriety of the jersey. It became very, very strong with the kind of the games we won and the trophies that we won. You know, Andile, I'll just give you a stat. South Africa has over 20,000 soccer teams right now and close to over 3 million soccer players. What is the chance of your jersey being retired if you look at all those numbers? So that is the magnitude of what the retiring of a jersey means, because 3 million people are all wanting to play football, but your jersey number becomes chosen to be retired. That's a very, very powerful message that the team sends to anybody that's aspiring to play for that particular team. For instance, everybody that wants to play for Kaizer Chiefs, they would love to wear number 15 because it belonged to Doctor. But unfortunately, it's not available. So it picks the stakes up for anybody who wants to wear that gold and black jersey. That look, in this team, there's 2 numbered jerseys that were retired because of the incredible performances. So that's the standard that those 2 jerseys have set for the rest of the teams. So for the team guys who joined the team.
Wow, absolutely amazing story. So we've got about another 7 minutes with you guys before we let them go. But of course, I see so many of you wanting to add your voices. You can do so on WhatsApp at 060-552-7303. Before Doctor goes as well, Doc, I want to help promote the amazing work that you're doing out there touring South Africa, so that anybody that's listening out there, the different municipalities, the different businesses can lend a hand in what you're doing, because you're growing the next potentials number 15 and 20s out there, and want to talk about it. But let's take a quick break first. It's 1843, and if you just heard that, that was the beginning of this conversation. Of course, it was in and around Orlando Pirates and the jersey number 10, but I've got Dr. Khumalo, who's also got a retired jersey, and Dr. Howard Freese. Hey, doctor and doctor, I didn't realize, 2 doctors. I've got the 2 doctors on the line.
You see, now you know why the jerseys were retired.
Exactly. The only 2 doctors, and they both have their jerseys retired.
Yes.
Doctor,
so you need a doctor to play those jerseys.
So not only must you be a high achiever, you must be a doctor.
Yes, you must be.
Doctor, I wonder, you've had your jersey retired for. Has anybody worn it since you left Kaizer Chiefs? Has anybody worn the jersey?
It was 15.
Yeah?
Yeah, they tried with, I think it was Sia. And then
No, didn't he wear 10? Did he wear 15 before?
Before 10, he started with 15.
Okay, and then who else?
And then Robson Muchichwa, only one game. Then But I was overseas then. I was playing in the US. So I was like, oh, Robson is the one that's using 15. Oh, okay, great. Came back for Bafana game. But I should see the line in.
Why am I so silly?
I didn't even want to ask who did that.
I told you asked. What happened?
And then now or lately, it was Ncube.
When?
For the CAF games.
Oh, and of course, for the CAF games, I mean, I think this is an education that is needed with South Africans to say in CAF games, because you get limited numbers.
Yeah, but then after 3-4 games by Susan, I'm maybe twice.
Wow, that's extraordinary. Has anybody ever asked for it though, Doggy? Has there ever been a player who's asked for it? Like, you got big name players that come into Kaizer Chiefs. You've had Karma, you've had Keegan Dolly. These are big name players that have come in.
Yes.
Has anybody ever said, hey, is it possible to wear 15?
I would like to believe there was a player who said that, but it's just that I've forgotten who it was. I was visiting the village. It's one of these new players who said, I think I'll be ready to take the 15. Then I was like, all right.
What's he mean? Oh, we've lost Doctor there. We've lost Doctor. We accidentally hung up with Doctor, so we'll try and get it. And Dr. Howard Freese, of course, has put forward his reasons as to why it is that you would need to wear that jersey if you would need to wear it. And it makes perfect sense. But Dr. Freese, because I know you're a student of the game, and I mean that in that you not only played it, but you read and you take. Do you think that this is healthy behavior of teams? Because, like I said, it's a phenomenon that's a South African phenomenon. Do you think this is healthy behavior?
Yeah. Look, I think it is a healthy behavior, Andile, because it sort of it encourages extraordinary people into the extraordinary teams. Because it's not very often that people just retire numbers. Andile, as I said, it's not a mathematical formula where people sit down and say, look, if you score 10 goals, if you win 2 league titles, if you're training every day or that. There isn't a formula that people use to retire a jersey. It's a very, very thought process that goes through the managers or the owners of the team to say, listen, here's the guy. Look at his contribution in totality. What is it that he has brought to the team over the time that he has been there? His behavior. How does he carry himself? Has he educated himself? And when he's with other players, does he stand out? And what's his contribution to his other fellow teammates? So it's a very, very thought-provoking process that the owners go through before they can say, okay, we think this guy deserves this jersey to be retired. It's not an easy decision to be taken.
I've got somebody on the line that I want to bring on. Doctor, are you there? Dr. Khumalo.
I'm there.
Dr. Khumalo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Doctor, I've got Jan Malombo on the line. Jan Malombo, Rwali Doctor, Doctor Rikena in saying number 15, you go Chiefs. The world is number 15 guy, and I can tell her when.
Doki. Hey, Brajani. Uremu Doki. Yeah, I can feel a Brajan.
All right, I'm Doki.
Brajani.
Yeah, jersey number 15. Yeah, jersey number 15.
Who's the real number 15, Malombo?
I'm the real number 15. And if you know what I like about number 15, he take that number 15 to another level.
Yes.
Yes.
Mara, what happened? How did you end up giving him number 15? Because you were 15.
No, he asked for my jersey number 15. He asked for it, and I give it to him. But what I like about him, he takes that jersey to another level.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And then after that, I said, Doggies, whom are you going to give this number 15? He said, no one. Ask him why.
And we're not Mufile.
Naki Mufile, my bro. Mariana Mutsaro, why Ahanofa number 15 somebody.
Oh, man. Jan Malombo, don't go anywhere. I need to take this ad break. And people want to talk to you guys. South Africa's calling. It's going crazy in the studio.
They're calling, no, but let doctor answer that one.
Doctor, answer the question.
Which one?
Uthi Malombo yena ukuphila ijezi 15 wena wawungafuna ukunika omunye umuntu.
No, I don't deny, because when I was using 16, then before the league started, then they introduced 16 to me. But I had a market to say, hey, this is big, because I know which mean I'm not a workaholic. I can't run or mark and I have to go and say, do you mind if you use that? But I won't disappoint. Yeah, that's what he said. Anyway, funny, sharp.
Oh,
so
man.
Hey, so I had to double the effort.
Yeah.
Oh,
and manje magati Risa guy karuboni when that was the question. Kare uboni mo ruboni man. Aritu.
So we must answer that.
If angakwazi ukuphendula nama ngwazi.
So Malombo Jan, uboni?
No, akabona nini. He asked me that question. Okay, if you want me to give somebody this number 15, wena mpulele urumano ubone man. Kathula karinakabona muntu. No, I don't have an answer.
The day you want somebody, call us and we'll speak to him.
The day I'll see somebody, then I'll say that Mudogis, give that number 15 to this player.
It's
but
a deal.
What I like, even the chairman agree with doctor. No, you can't give it to anybody.
Yeah.
The chairman said, no, if you feel like that, I don't see, even as the chairman, this number 15, whom can I give? The chairman said, no, I don't know, it's up to you.
Oh, Jan and Doctor, the two number 15s. Jan, thank you so much. We're going to let Jan go, take a break. When we come back, Doctor, if you could please just give us a couple of seconds for at least two fans, two supporters, two Kosi lovers and South African football lovers just to say hi.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're live on Metro FM. It is Sports That Amplified with Andile, absolute legends, telling great South African stories. And every time I've spoken to both gentlemen, but particularly Doctor, whom I'm always grateful. I mean, we almost abuse Doctor here because I always say to him, his story cannot be told in one sitting. We're going to take a bit of a bite every time for a very long time, for years to come. And we appreciate that he makes time for us. And of course, Howard Freese, Howard. So whenever you do get a chance to speak to him, we appreciate that as well. But we've got people that want to join in on this conversation. This conversation did come from the people. We've got David out there, Guruleni. David, what a fascinating chat.
Hello.
Hey, David, talk to us.
Good evening to the legends and the crew.
Good evening, David.
Yeah.
Good evening, David.
Thank you. First I want to salute the Doc. Doc nearly cost me my job. When Bafana was playing Brazil, I ran away from my post and I was reprimanded after that. And he played like a possessed man on that game. Him and Johnny Wade, I will never forget that game. And this Bebeto thing, I hate Bebeto kick with all my heart.
Keep on the file.
Let me go back to the main topic of retiring judges. I think it's a noble thing to salute our heroes. And if I were to honor a team like Skukune that suffered a heavy blow yesterday, I would say, let the legend sign on a jersey made of Dr. Khumalo and give it to Safa and request VAR for us. That is the only salute I can say. And please,
David, it's not a magic jersey, man, David. David was like 15 months so we magic. Let's go to Sponglen. Sponglen is all the way in KZN. Sponglen.
Oh, njani ma?
Ngikona Sponglen uthini wena?
Ngiyaphila, uphethe umdokisi namhlanje.
Ngiphethe umdokisi no doctor.
Ilegend yami madoda. Umdokisi njani bhuti omdala?
Yeah, ngiyaphila njani nawe?
Uthini ngendaba ukuthi 15 uhleli phansi?
ngifuna ukumbuza yona umdokisi ukuthi why is it a question of not seeing a person who can take over from him from what he did for Kaizer Chiefs before, or it's just that ijezi nje akasafuna ukuthi lisebenze at all?
Okay, we've answered that one, Rasibongeleni. So, libumamele kanjalo. Let's go to Sipho Mthetho. Sipho Mthetho's out in Durban. Sipho.
Oh, ma.
Hey, man, talk to me.
Ninjani mfowethu?
Hayi cha somqemane.
Sikhona mfowethu. Mdokisi no Totika Chase.
Eta kunjani?
Good evening. How are you?
Ngikhona ma ninjani mina?
Sharp man.
Siyaphila.
Yeah, bafowethu ngiyisupporta le Pirates, but futhi ngiyisupporta le bhola.
Yeah.
Into engiphatha kabi le, what makes me feel very sad is that ijezi number 12 elasetshenzela kakhulu kangako eSintwelengo has never been retired, and that pains my heart because uEsintwelengo was not only a South African legend, but he was a world icon. Phesheya uEsintwelengo unama-statues, uyahlonishwa. Why we never retired his jezi at Kaizer Chiefs now? Why nilinika le ntwana yakangcobo lejezi elisinde elikhulu kangaka?
Sipho Mthetho, thank you so much. I don't think it would be fair to get the guys to answer on current players, of course, like that. So I'm gonna let you say your say, but I'm gonna protect them from this one here. Let's go to Peter. Peter's out in Brits. Peter.
Andile.
Hey, talk to me, man. You're the last one.
Yeah, man. I mean, exactly, man. I understand they were good in football, but football has changed now, you know.
So that's a question that has been spoken about, to say, Howard, do you think it's fair to hold the new generation to the standards that you guys had? Peter's gone there. Sorry, Peter, we lost that line there. Do you think it's fair to hold them, to those standards? Because seemingly, I mean, to win 20-something trophies with a team is almost, in nowadays, almost impossible.
No, it's not unfair, Andile. Kaizer Chiefs had a chairman, I think I won't mention his name, but Doctor will remember what I'm going to say. This guy used to tell us, Andile, whenever we used to meet, he says you can't take out of a pot what you don't put into the pot. And that lived with us for all the years when we were at Kaizer Chiefs. Because it told us, Andile, for you to get something, you need to put back something to the team. So if you don't contribute towards the success of the team and make it greater, as Jan was saying, you need to take a team, every generation, Andile, has got to take the team to a different level or a higher level all the time. But if you're coming in there and you don't fulfill your part, or you don't take your craft very seriously, so we cannot honor you. So you need to come in there. These young boys, when they see the number 15 jersey and the number 20, they should ask themselves, why can't we get that jersey? Or why can't I be so good that that jersey can come to me? So it's a target, Andile. We will say they mustn't get it. We're saying they have to work for it. They've got to deserve it. They must earn it, Andile.
Oh, Howard Freese, always a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much, Doctor. I need to get out of here, but before I do, I've seen the work that you're doing. Absolutely amazing, with the netball, with the football as well. People across the country have been calling and asking us, how do we get Doctor here doing the same thing?
Yeah, non-corner Andile for South Africa, Yonke, because more than a big deal. And I must say that this wouldn't be possible without the Far Post Bruce that came on board to come and sponsor the initiative for Avantwana. We have funerals, but this is not about me. It's about the kids out there. We are responsible to make sure those kids bangena with sports. And if I don't do it, who else can do it?
Doctor, before your next one, please come here and let's talk about it so we know where you're going, where you know you're going to be.
Okay.
Please allow us to do that for you.
Okay, no, I'll do that.
You can come.
Okay, I'll tell. All right.
Little bit by little bit, we're going to tell the story of South African football. We're going to tell the history of our people. Kaizer Chiefs, a cornerstone of that. It's always great to have conversations about the team that, whether we like it or not, it took what football was and took it to heights unknown in this country. It made it fashionable to the young. Dr. Khumalo, Howard Freese, we appreciate you. Lemapara, Pela Pela, Antsomi.